our PS, Madam CBS Roslyn Jogu, State Department for Diaspora Affairs, excellent ambassadors who are here with us, Rono and Mburu, and all ambassadors who are here with us today, heads of directorates, heads of departments, heads of units, all protocols observed. Good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. God is good. And all the time. And that is his nature. Wow. From PS presentation, I just felt like we were supposed to end the day there and celebrate and be happy. Congratulations, PS, for the work that you're doing for the State Department, and congratulations, the entire team, for Diaspora Affairs for the great work that you're doing. You should clap for yourself. I'm really, truly honored to join you in today's program on the progress and partnership in management of Diaspora Affairs. I was supposed to be here earlier, but because of, we always say unavoidable circumstance, but it's true, it was unavoidable. I could not make in the morning at 10, but I'm really very happy to be here with you so that we close together. I want in particular to thank my colleague, Principal Secretary, my good friend, and my sister, CBS, Roslyn Jogu, for the invite, which is a demonstration of our State Department's confidence in the whole-of-government approach in the transaction of the all-important topical issues of diaspora affairs. The establishment of the State Department for Diaspora Affairs under this administration, the Kenya Kwanza administration, is a testament of the paradigm shift of the Kenya's policy towards harnessing the value that Kenyans living and working abroad have in Kenya's socio-economic space. The State Department is therefore tasked with the mandate of championing the protection of the rights and promotion of the welfare and interest of Kenyans overseas, and mainstreaming the Kenyan diaspora into the national development process, amongst other mandates, as has been really explained by our able peers. The classic demonstration of the value of our brothers and sisters in diaspora is the monetary remittances that they plow back into the country. I heard PS really talked about it during the conference, the Diaspora Investment Conference, that was really well organized, and congratulations. Available data indicates that in August 2023, remittances from the Kenya diaspora totaled $354.3 million US, a 14.1% increase from August 2022. And that is your work. Cumulative inflows for the 12 months leading up to August 2023 were $41.20 million US, up from $39.92 million US in 2022. These are the figures that you have. The data available from the CBK further shows that the remittances as at October 2023 stood at $355.6 million US compared to $332.6 million US in October 2023, which is, when converted to Kenya shillings, these figures are in excess of 40 billion. While the US remains the largest source of remittances, other regions such as Saudi Arabia and the African continent are emerging as fast-growing sources of diaspora flows to Kenya. CBK data reveals that in the 7 months to July, Kenyan citizens living in other African countries wired $164.4 million US, up from $116 million US last year. When PS talked about that person who I don't know whoever that person was, who was asking what Diaspora State Department has really done. It is so evident with what you are seeing in these figures. Me, I believe in figures. I'm a finance person, I'm an accountant, and I believe in figures. So that person should look at the figures. It should have just come like that. It should not have just come like that if it wasn't the efforts of this team that is seated here. These inflows, ladies and gentlemen, not only acts as a crucial stabilizer of the Kenya's forex position, but also have far-reaching and positive effects on quality of life for Kenyans back here at home. To underscore just how crucial these inflows are at the household level, the CBK, Central Bank of Kenya, has in the past reported that the remittances are ordinarily directed at nuclear family members and largely cater for basic household needs such as food, household goods, offsetting medical expenses, payment of education expenses, payment of rent, household utilities, clothing, payment for the costs associated with ceremonies, farming needs, etc. It has been noted that the majority of recipients are self-employed, unemployed, or students, suggesting a relatively high dependency ratio of Kenyans on the diaspora. A substantial chunk of the remittances are also utilized in investment in real estate and mortgage payment for senders. The interwoven nature of diaspora inflows and the Kenya social fabric informs the need to develop an incentive framework for these remittances, which is yet another mandate of this very good State Department. With these levels of inflows also comes the concomitant need for fiscal discipline in the management of the remittances. Maintaining fiscal discipline is essential to maintaining macroeconomic stability, reducing vulnerabilities, and improving aggregate economic performance. The entry point of infusing fiscal discipline has to be informed by the uses that the remittances are put to. I've already pointed out in my earlier remarks on those areas where we put our remittances. I see fiscal discipline as a two-phased approach, government and recipient-based. Let me proceed to demonstrate. Government-driven fiscal discipline. This is a known economic phenomena that the weakening of a local currency against international currencies leads to inflation. It is a known economic phenomenon. Rising inflation negatively affects the value of diaspora inflows. It reduces the cumulative purchasing power that local recipients have as against the value of remittances received. As part of fiscal discipline measures, it behooves the government to put in place measures that check inflation together with factors that inform it locally. This includes controlling fiscal deficits, managing public debts, and promoting expenditure that realizes value for money. During the State of the Nation address, ladies and gentlemen, on 9th of November 2023, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya announced various measures that the government of Kenya had taken and was taking to foster financial inclusion and fiscal reform. The measures include combating wasteful expenditure and provision of affordable and accessible credit through the Hustler Fund. In addition, the government has dealt with counterproductive subsidies on consumption, by which Kenya has dug itself into the hole of avoidable debts. We had also mobilized a coalition of bilateral partners, multilateral development banks, and other agencies which have rallied to pull Kenya back from the brink of debt distress and set us firmly on the path towards sustainable growth. I think that was also really highlighted yesterday during His Excellency the President interview, media interviews. The second measure is to manage the cost of sending remittances. In his remarks during the Global Forum on Remittances, Investment and Development on 14th June 2023, the then CBK Governor, Dr. Patrick Njoroge, observed that the cost of sending remittances remain high, especially in certain corridors. According to the World Bank's data, the cost of sending $200 average between 5% and 10% worldwide, far exceeding the Sustainable Development Goal target of 3%. As a result of high cost, remittances tickets remain sizable. He further observed that in the case of Kenya, the adoption of technology and innovation has reduced cost, allowing for smaller bite-sized remittances tickets. Kenya's 2021 Diaspora Remittance Survey revealed that 32% of remittances are through mobile money operators due to the convenience, speed, and lower costs. Still, a lot needs to be done to reduce costs towards the SDG target. Recipient discipline is the other approach. I've talked about government parts. The other part is recipient discipline. On the part of the recipients, it is important to note that remittances are inextricably tied to the stories of migrants. These are stories of courage, endurance, desperation, successes, failures, and redemption. These are clothed in sweat and the spirit of daring abroad. It is in this context that recipients need to put remittances to the intended use. Media is awash with tales of recipients misappropriating funds and with it shattering dreams and breaking hearts. It is my view that the drafters of the envisaged Diaspora Bill may consider creating special criminal sanctions against persons who steal from or otherwise defraud our diaspora brothers and sisters. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I want to touch briefly on the State Department for Parliamentary Affairs mandate of the day-to-day coordination of the government legislative agenda. I can confirm that part of the portfolio of this legislative agenda are various policies and legislative initiatives that are identified by the State Department for Diaspora Affairs, which include the review of the Kenya Diaspora Policy 2014, the development of the Diaspora Law, and development of the Labor Migration Management Bill, which is a close partnership between the State Departments for Labor and Diaspora Affairs. I take this opportunity to reiterate the State Department for Parliamentary Affairs support to the State Department for Diaspora Affairs in ensuring that the proposed initiatives see the light of the day in the nearest future. The concept of fiscal discipline also binds members of Kenya's diaspora to adopt a saving culture and prudent use of their earnings. Government continues to do its part by maintaining a sound financial ecosystem that includes various financial vehicles such as saving schemes, the National Security Exchange, government treasury bills, government bonds, etc. Kenya's diaspora should be continuously encouraged to take advantage of this ecosystem to save. On the government part, His Excellency the President has observed that Kenya is committed to taking deliberate measures to foster a strong culture of saving amongst Kenyans and to enable them mobilize resources for investment and development of intergenerational capital to eliminate old age poverty and ensure comfort in retirement. He noted during the State of the Nation address that as a result of the government initiative, the savings situation in Kenya is changing for the better. By way of example, contributions to NSSF have grown to 6.5 billion monthly Kenya shillings, up from 1.4 billion Kenya shillings a month. Ladies and gentlemen, I take this opportunity to sincerely congratulate the State Department for Parliamentary Affairs for the great work that they are doing for the diasporians and the great work that they are doing to the nation of Kenya. With these very few remarks, I want to take this opportunity to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year 2024. Thank you so much and God bless you.